more of a topsoil that we're putting on the top layer, about 4 to 6 inches. Put the sod on top of that. We're gonna have a palm tree hanging over the little pond.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name's Ryan.
And I'm Kyle, and today we are at the new facility showing my brother, Timmy, the tortoise greenhouse, and also give you guys an update. So, yeah. Timmy, I want to see your reaction to this. I want to see if you're excited, if you're disappointed.
Oh, I'm always excited when
You're always excited? All right, good.
I'm always doing that.
So this area is going to be for Crush. I mean, we probably already talked about it, but a little bit has changed. So you see here,
Yeah.
this is going to be for his house. So it should be big enough.
For the big turtle.
Yes. You think is this big enough?
Yeah, that'll keep him quiet at night.
Right? He's so loud at night. So we're gonna do concrete block around here, and then we'll have a roof on top that will actually pivot open, and a hose bib right here that I can easily wash the concrete floor. Now, most likely I'll build this up a little bit more, or actually I will build it up a little more, because this is too rough and it's the same height as the ground around it. And then we're gonna coat that with a pond armor to make it a lot softer for the tortoises, but still have traction for them. And his pond is different because he's such a big tortoise, so I want to make sure he had a big flat area.
Why is that over here and this over here?
Well, you don't want to put the house inside the pond.
No, house here, then the pond right here. Then you just go right across.
You tell him, Timmy.
There's my helper.
He's running away.
We need to move the pond.
Yeah, the pond should be over there.
Oh, Timmy, your supervisory skills came a little bit too late.
A little bit late.
But
So,
we appreciate it, though.
We are leaving it here because
What do? You make a tunnel?
no,
So he goes into
Timmy,
it?
he can walk from there to here, and he's got this whole area right here. This is his area too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see what you mean. He's like, how does he get from there to there? He walks. So I wanted a big flat area for him. So I actually just am gonna build it straight up to the sheet pile, and it's gonna be built up here. So this is the line that's gonna be as far as depth. And what is this, Carlos? 12 inches deep? 12 inches deep. Okay. So I wanna build these deeper because worst case, I can just add river rock on the bottom to fill it. But if it's too shallow, then you can't really do anything. So it's easier to fill it in if it's too deep rather than dig it back up if it's too shallow. Now with this, we're
sand, right? Not
what?
shells. Sand?
Sand? No. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get it's like a 1x1 river rock, and actually used for showers to give it kind of a naturalistic look. So we're gonna put this river rock. Yeah, it's like a cobblestone kind of thing. So this will be cobblestone. And then you spackle it in. Cowabunga?
Yeah, that's cool.
What do you mean cowabunga? Like that?
Yeah, that's cool.
What do you think of this soil?
I don't want that thing.
What do you think? It's good for the tortoises?
Yeah.
No, it's terrible. It's actually terrible because nothing grows on it because it is very sandy. So
Well,
we're actually going to be bringing.
Tortoises that need sand.
We got to get new tortoises. We got to get rid of all the ones we have.
No, keep those.
Well, where are we going to put those? They need soil.
We'll just put another one of these. It's like peanuts.
Oh, another greenhouse. Yeah, just another one. No problem.
I want to show him this house because you kind of got the construction going.
So this is a little bit smaller. This is for the vast majority of the animals here. So I'm gonna have 2 entrances just because it's a lot of the tortoises. I mean, they're not the smartest animals. I love them, but they're not the smartest. So I want to give them 2 access points that they can make sure they get in. You like when I said that?
Yeah.
They're not the smartest.
Yeah.
So, but this will be built up by concrete block, and then we're probably gonna put bamboo on the outside to give it a more of a naturalistic look, and then the sloped roof. So this is, what is it? 4 high and then 3 high concrete in the back. So then with here, this whole thing, the whole lid will open up on pistons, hydraulic pistons, and I can get in there and service it and just overall check the tortoises.
And you were saying earlier, this is built for like Category 4 hurricane is basically what you're thinking?
I mean, this is a regular house down here in South Florida, 8-inch concrete block, so it's probably good for 145, 150 mile per hour winds, which is easily a Category 4 hurricane. And the greenhouse is set up for a Category 4 hurricane. So if it's Category 5 directly coming here, I will pull the tortoises out and put them in that thing. And that thing is rated for 250 mile per hour winds. So that's.
Are we telling them what that thing is, or are we going to show them another video? I mean, people have been requesting it.
Yeah, we'll have to go in there next.
That's your what?
That's a car garage.
How?
Slash
so you put like
storm bunker because.
2 cars? 2-car garage?
36. The whole 36. So it's pretty big. But it's
So if
got
you
a
guys want to
generator,
see
water
that,
system.
leave some comments, guys. If you want to see that.
Gonna have a full kitchen, 2 bathrooms, bunk beds. Gonna have all. I set it up where I don't have to leave my animals, and that's that. So if this is rated for 150, that's rated for 250. And guys, if you guys know anything about hurricanes, 250 is physically impossible apparently for hurricanes, as they only get 220. So enough about hurricanes. This is going to be the Burmese black tortoise area, and Burmese black tortoises are pretty aquatic, believe it or not. So we built a bigger pond for them, and it's deeper. So I actually had them when I first got them in the Yacari enclosure before I got the Yacari enclosure, before I got the Yacari caiman down. So they'd actually swim across the pond, and the pond was 6 foot deep. So I made this, I think this is 18 inches deep. So again, I just want to make it so they can swim if they want to, but if we find that it's too deep, we can just fill the center with river rock, and then we can make it as shallow as we want for them. So we'll have a feed for everything and then a drain. So every day, the entire pond will flush out. And this is all rated for hurricanes and whatnot. So then I built pretty standard enclosures, because whether it be redfoots, hyper redfoots, radiated tortoises, it's kind of universal. So these ponds are shallower. I think they are 7 inches deep, but still that's very deep. I mean, that's about that deep. So again, I'd rather be deeper than shallower, because I can add, we're gonna add the river rock anyway on the sides, but then I can add river rock loose in the middle and fill it in.
And are you doing like an overflow system here? Is that what kind of going on? So you got the intake and the outtake?
Yep, so the pump will be on a timer. It'll kick on every day, run for about a half an hour to an hour, depending on you know, what I see that needs to really clean the water, and then an overflow. And the way I set up the overflow is it's adjustable. So everything's glued back here, but this is adjustable here. So right now it's at its highest point, but I can pull this. I don't want to mess up the concrete, it's still wet, but this will actually turn like that. So I can make it shallower, as shallow as I want. I can bring it down all the way here. Let's say it's super nasty. If I just want to pull this off. So obviously you can see how much water it'll flush out, and then just put this back on, and then you have the water height back to normal. So I'm trying to think of every single thing this time around, and to make it as easy and as maintenance free as possible.
And guys, when we're right here, I know we showed you this part before when you're outside of the enclosures. It probably looks a lot different to you guys because the rock actually got in. It's not just a giant ditch on the side of the green tortoise enclosures.
And then, so you can see here, all the pipes run out under the pathway, and this is all gravel. So what that does is it just drains through, and South Florida is essentially a giant beach. So the water will just percolate through through the sand and down to the ground. Because I'm not going to be running a ton of water, so it's easy enough for the ground to handle that. And let's see, same one. So again, we're just doing kind of universal setup. Now all those houses need to be built up even more. And then you can go down here and you see the soil that I'm working with. So like I said before to Timmy, this is a very sandy soil and it's not nutrient rich. So the problem with that is the grass is hard to grow on it. The plants, it doesn't do well for the plants. So this is more of a topsoil that we're putting on the top layer, about 4 to 6 inches. Put the sod on top of that. We're gonna have a palm tree hanging over the little pond. We're gonna have some cat palms that they can burrow into, and then probably a wax myrtle in the corner. And then also a mound, because again, I believe, you know, trying to set these up as best as possible for the tortoises to have the most enriching lives. So I think the mound is really beneficial too, because then they have an area to walk over, and it's kind of like their little exercise. Yeah,
they're gonna work out. They don't skip leg day.
Exactly. So this, and then we're actually gonna put sprinklers, because in here I don't want it to pour all the time. I don't want it to have the opportunity where it could flood in here. So I'd rather just close the roof as they're doing now. So the roof is completely closed at this point. So, but I also want to benefit with the grass here, and I want to make sure they can eat it at all times. And the problem with the dry season in the winter is the grass doesn't grow. So we're going to put sprinklers around every enclosure, and what that'll do is it'll water the grass every day, so then the grass will grow all the time. So then they have more grass to eat, so I don't have to feed them as much.
Oh, what did you say, Timmy?
What is this thing for?
You tell me, what do you think?
I don't know.
Those are big cages.
This is for the little guys?
This is for the little
Bingo.
guys.
Yeah.
So we got the hyper redfoots that are quickly outgrowing their enclosure. We got the radiated tortoises that are ready to come out, and we got room for another group of younger tortoises. So this will be split 3 ways. As you can see, these are their little ponds. So they got little feet here and a little main drain here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a divider down each one, so then they'll have their own little areas to hang out. Now they don't need a house because these guys are gonna be in here even in the winter, which obviously with the cold nights, you'll get 30s, 40s. Whereas the little guys, when it gets to cold nights, I'll just bring them inside in the utility building because they're easy to move around and much easier to just put in tubs, especially if there's a week-long cold front. So
and you got pretty big pipes running through here. You're gonna be flowing a lot of water, huh?
Yeah, when I said 2-inch, they thought 2 inches everywhere because I meant 2-inch main. Yeah. So I meant 2-inch main, well, they ran 2 inches everywhere. Well, again, it's kind of like the ponds where it's better to be deeper, it's better to be bigger pipe than smaller pipe and not be able to have the water flow that you need, because all of this, and you set it in concrete, and then what do you do if it's not flowing enough? So, and also the beauty of it too is, like I said, if that one is super dirty and the others are clean, I can turn the valve and really flush that out super quick, and then be on my way. So each one will also have a heated pig blanket, as they call them, but it's a hard plastic, I guess a piece that I usually screw on the roof that'll heat the entire room, heat the entire building, and it's a lot safer than using a heat light or whatnot. So that's one I set up here, so we'll have outlets on everything, and then they'll be on a thermostat.
So when do you think we'll be moving tortoises in here?
Well, Carlos has been saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks for about 2 months.
So is it still 2 weeks away?
It's about 2 weeks away. But guys, I really honestly think we will have tortoises in here by the end of the month. So this week we're doing all the concrete, we're bringing in the trees, we're bringing the topsoil, we're doing irrigation in a week. So there's a lot of things that are coming together that's wrapping it up. Grass. So grass will be here next week.
Yay! It's gonna look cool.
Right? It'll definitely change the look of this place, which will really kind of finalize how everything is. And grass is really the final step. So setting everything up, putting the trees in, and then putting the grass on top. All right, guys, well, hope you enjoyed the update on the tortoise greenhouse.
And meeting Tim. What do you think of the, being on video and having the greenhouse, Tim?
Awesome, guys. Awesome.
You're gonna help us move all the tortoises, right? The big one.
Oh, yeah,
That's
right.
all you.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, if you liked today's video, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out our Instagram, Primitive Predators, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.